Marcus Webb been called many things in his 32 years, talented engineer, disaster magnet, that idiot who got stranded on an ice moon. But cargo was a new one. I don't understand the problem, the alien ship captain said, her three eyes blinking in sequence as she looked down at him. You required transport off the ice moon. I provided transport. You are cargo. This is simple logic. Marcus stared up at the towering figure of Captain Zelvara. She was Arkelian, a species known for their strict adherence to logic and contracts. Standing 7 feet tall, her crystalline skin refracted light into rainbow patterns, and her elongated form moved with eerie fluidity. She was also, unfortunately, the most beautiful thing Marcus had ever seen, which made this conversation incredibly awkward. Cargo doesn't usually sleep in the captain's quarters. Marcus pointed out, the cargo hold was too cold for human biology. The logical solution was to place you where I could monitor your temperature needs. Zelvara's head tilted, her white hair floating around her face like it existed in its own gravity. Is this not acceptable? It's fine. Never mind. Marcus sighed. He'd been on her ship, the Crystalline Dawn, for 2 weeks since she'd rescued him from certain death on that frozen hellscape. 2 weeks of trying to figure out if the captain's behavior was normal Arkelian logic or something else entirely. You are stressed, Zelvara observed. Your heart rate has increased. Are you experiencing a medical emergency? No, I'm fine. Physiologically, you are not fine. Your readings indicate it's just frustration, Captain. Human emotion. We get those sometimes. Zelvara's three eyes focused on him with unsettling intensity. Explain this frustration. Marcus ran a hand through his hair. How did you explain to a hyper-logical alien that calling someone cargo after sharing quarters for 2 weeks felt weirdly impersonal? It's nothing. Really? I'm grateful you saved me. Gratitude is unnecessary. You are paying for passage with your engineering skills. This is a fair exchange. Right, fair exchange. Got it. As Marcus turned to head back to his workstation, he heard Zelvara murmur something in her language. It sounded like, my human. But that couldn't be right. Arkelians didn't use possessives for people. Only for property and contracts. The incident with the pirates happened 3 days later. Marcus was elbow deep in the engine core, rerouting power systems when the ship's alarms blared. He barely had time to register the sound before Zelvara's voice came over the comm, cold and sharp. Marcus, go to my quarters. Lock the door. Do not come out. What's happening? Raiders? They are attempting to board. You will be safe in my quarters. I can help. I'm pretty good in a fight. You are cargo, Marcus Webb. Valuable cargo that I will not allow to be damaged. Go, now. The connection cut off. Marcus stood there, tools in hand, torn between following orders and doing something, anything to help. The decision was made for him when the ship shuddered from weapon impacts. He ran. Zelvara's quarters were luxurious compared to the rest of the utilitarian ship. That should have been his first clue that something was off about the captain's claim that he was just cargo. The door sealed behind him with a hiss, and Marcus paced, listening to the sounds of combat echoing through the hull. Minutes felt like hours. Then, finally, silence. The door opened to reveal Zelvara. Her crystalline skin was cracked in places, oozing luminescent fluid that Marcus had learned was Arkelian blood. Her white hair was matted, and one of her three eyes was swollen shut. Oh my God! Marcus rushed forward. You're hurt! Minor damage. The raiders have been neutralized. She swayed slightly, and Marcus caught her, supporting her weight despite their size difference. You need medical attention. Where's your med bay? I am the ship's medic. There is no one else. Then I'm helping. Come on, sit down and talk me through it. For once, Zelvara didn't argue with his logic. She sat and Marcus gathered medical supplies under her instruction, his hand steady despite his racing heart. Why did they attack? Marcus asked as he carefully cleaned a wound on her shoulder. They identified a human life sign aboard. Humans are valuable in certain black markets. Marcus's hand stilled. They came for me. Yes, and you fought them off. Got hurt protecting cargo. Zelvara's remaining 2 eyes fixed on him, and for the first time, Marcus saw something other than cool logic in that gaze. You are not cargo, Marcus Webb. You've been calling me cargo for 2 weeks. I have been, attempting to maintain proper boundaries. Arkelians do not form emotional attachments. It is seen as a flaw in our people. A weakness. We are logic, we are reason. We are. She stopped, her voice dropping. We are lonely. Marcus's breath caught. Zelvara, when I found you on that moon, freezing and near death, the logical action was to leave you. One human was not worth the fuel expenditure or the risk of engaging with your species' complicated politics. Her crystalline hand reached up, touching his face with surprising gentleness. but I could not. I looked at you and felt something I have spent my entire life being told I should not feel. Want. Desire. The need to protect something precious? I thought Arkelians didn't feel those things? We are taught not to. But sometimes, her eyes glistened with unshed tears. Sometimes the programming fails. Sometimes we are defective. You're not defective, Marcus said fiercely. You're incredible. You saved my life. You protected me. He hesitated, then decided to hell with it. You let me sleep in your quarters and adjusted the temperature and kept checking on me at night when you thought I was asleep. That's not cargo treatment. Captain, Zelvara looked away. I should not have done those things. It is not logical. It is not appropriate. You are paying passenger, nothing more, and I am compromised, broken. A failed Arkelian who cannot control her emotional responses. Marcus put down the medical supplies and gently turned her face back to his. What if I don't want you to control them? Her eyes widened, all three of them. You. What? I've been going crazy trying to figure you out. 1 minute you're calling me cargo, the next you're fighting off pirates to protect me. You give me your quarters but insist it's just logistics. You check my vitals 20 times a day but claim it's medical necessity. Marcus smiled. I thought maybe I was reading into things. But if you're saying what I think you're saying, I do not know what I am saying, Zelvara whispered. I have no framework for this. Arkelians do not court, we do not bond. We do not fall for stranded human engineers. I have fallen for nothing. Falling is a human metaphor, I do not. She stopped, and something that might have been a laugh escaped her. Yes, I have fallen. Completely. Illogically. Irreversibly? Marcus's heart soared. Good, because I've been falling for you since you called me acceptable temperature, like it was a compliment. It was a compliment. Your thermal regulation is quite impressive for a species with only one heart. See that? Right there? You're adorable. I am a 7-foot crystalline being. I am not adorable. You're my adorable 7-foot crystalline being who keeps calling me or human when she thinks I can't hear. Zelvara's skin flushed with color, rainbow patterns dancing across her surface. You heard that multiple times. So either I'm your human or I'm cargo. You can't have it both ways, Captain. She was quiet for a long moment, her three eyes studying him with that intense focus that made Marcus feel like the only thing in the universe. Then, carefully, precisely, she said, You are my human. You have been since the moment I decided to risk my ship and my life to pull you from that frozen wasteland. I simply did not have the courage to admit it. And now? No, there is no point in pretending. 12 raiders saw me fight like my people's ancestors, before we were civilized, before we learned to suppress our instincts. I fought for you with a ferocity that is decidedly not logical. Her hand cupped his cheek. They will report this. The Arkelian Council will know I am compromised. I will likely lose my captain's license. Marcus's stomach dropped. Cell, no, it is acceptable, she said softly. Losing my ship would be difficult, but losing you. Her voice broke. That would be impossible. I have calculated the probabilities. There is no scenario in which I choose logic over you. I am, as they will say, irreparably defective. Then I'm defective too, Marcus said, because I quit my job, left my planet, and I'm currently sitting in an alien ship in the middle of space, totally okay, with the fact that I'm falling in love with someone who has 3 eyes and calls me her human like it's a scientific classification. Love. Zelvara repeated the word like it was foreign. That is a human concept. Yeah, a really good one. You should try it. I do not know how. Well, you're already halfway there. You protected me, cared for me, fought for me. That's love, Zel. You just didn't have a word for it. Zelvara pulled him closer, and Marcus wrapped his arms around her, feeling her crystalline skin warm under his touch. If the council takes my ship, she said, where will we go? Well, figure it out. Together. Maybe I'll finally get to visit that engineer colony on Proxima. Or we could freelance. 2 defective beings against the galaxy? That is not a logical plan. No, Marcus agreed, smiling against her shoulder. But it's a good one anyway. They stayed like that, holding each other in the quiet of her quarters, the ship humming around them. Outside, the stars turned, indifferent to the small miracle happening within the crystalline dawn, an Arkelian captain who chose feeling over logic, a human engineer who chose adventure over safety. 2 beings who found each other in the vast emptiness of space and decided that some equations didn't need logic to solve. Sometimes the answer was just, yes, Marcus, Zelvara said after a while. Yeah. You are still in my quarters. I noticed. The logical action would be to assign you different quarters now that we have clarified our relationship status. Marcus pulled back enough to see her three eyes, all focused on him with unmistakable warmth. And what does the illogical action say? Zelvera's skin shimmered with pleased colors. The illogical action says you never leave. That you stay here with me, where I can ensure your temperature is acceptable and your vital signs remain stable and your presence continues to make my programming fail in the most wonderful ways. I vote for illogical, Marcus said. This is acceptable to me, Zelvera replied, and when she leaned down to kiss him, Marcus thought maybe getting stranded on an ice moon was the best thing that had ever happened to him. After all, it had led him here, to her, to this impossible, illogical, perfect moment, and that was a calculation he'd gladly make every time.